Clap it up from W's in the chat. We got some breaking news. But first of all, Brody, is there anything you want to say to the people regarding anything Big Three, draft, combine, etc.? Anything you know about what's going on in terms of that?
Man, it's really just been kind of a crazy time because I tell a lot of people this on the podcast and kind of just throughout the journey that this is really just treated like a startup league. I mean, it's only been around for 8 seasons, and so a lot of what we see is like constantly changing time and time again. So I
Yeah.
saw y'all kind of talking about the draft and whatnot, and obviously it was kind of frustrating to see, guys like Nas, for instance, being a fourth man of the year and rookie of the year before and not being drafted. But it's just tough right now because they went from 12 to 8 teams after expanding, and I was kind of breaking this down in my recent episode, but like if you think about it, it's like two of those spots are filled by the reigning champs bringing back their squad. Two of those spots are essentially filled by the 305 or the Threes Company bringing back their squad, except Lance instead of Nas. And then, Power, they essentially brought in like two family members. TJ Klein's been with Power for a long time, but he's Nancy Lieberman's son. And then Paul Millsap joining Power. He brought in his brother John. So it's like when you break it down like that, there's only 10 people, and it's kind of just the reality of the league. But no doubt in my mind, a lot of people were talking to me, experienced Big Three guys, and being like, "Nah, should have been in the league." And I heard a rumor
Wait, wait,
today.
wait, 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 brother. Even experienced Big Three guys were telling you that Nas should be in the league.
Oh yeah. They felt like that he had proven himself. They were pretty shocked that he wasn't drafted. They felt like it was wrong that he wasn't brought back with the team. And like in years before, so typically how the league goes before they had the city affiliations is that if you're in the championship game, whether you win or you're on the runner up team, your team is brought back. So like you have the option as a contender or the runner up to drop somebody if you want to make a change because you technically didn't win at all. You might want to change some things up, but typically those teams are brought back the next year. And so the fact that they were even drafting was crazy, but the fact that overall, like I think Nas proved himself a lot. But regardless, there's I had a source tell me today that Kimba is not expected to play this year, still having some difficulties with his knees, and that Jay Rich really liked Nas and planning to pick him up. And yeah, I think we'll hear that confirmation here in a few days. But I'm excited about it.
Damn.
Yeah, I know
Wait,
that's
so
a lot.
I feel
Go
like
ahead.
Nas. I feel like Nas is kind of like the guy that's kind of like the free agent that like if anything happens, he'll be the first. Obviously he is,
Mhm.
but he turned into that guy this year based on the fact that he didn't get drafted.
Yeah, 100%. I think at the end of the day, like the league just needs more teams, and like I know, like right now, it's just really about like trying to build that credibility even more and getting teams purchased, and I'm thinking some of the sales weren't completed all the way, and that's why they went with 8 teams. But the league just so much talent. There's 100 plus people in the draft pool. I mean, you're talking about not just experienced players in this league, but like the guys that were in there. You're seeing Cle Anthony Early, Jordan McRae. I mean, if you're a basketball junkie, there's some pretty top notch guys in there alongside like the guys, and even from, the YouTube scene, right? Like, I'm pretty new to it, but like ISO Tay looks like he
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah,
go. Like
yeah,
he,
yeah,
he
yeah.
should get an opportunity. If you think about even guys like Hezi God, 2023 Big Three Player of the Year, body bag, number 1 pick last year, was an All Star last year. How did he go
Oh,
undrafted?
he
So
was
it's just
was body bag in the draft pool as well.
yes, yes,
Oh
yes.
shit!
How did he go undrafted? I don't know. So
Body bag was in the draft pool. You didn't get drafted.
yeah.
Oh my god, it's rough out here in these streets, ladies and gentlemen. It's rough out here
Yes.
in these. So talk to me about the combine. What was the overall goal in the combine for them? Because I'm gonna tell you exactly how I felt. I felt like they were looking at guys, but I do feel like it is like some you have Gilly and NLE Chop out there. It's a little bit of a PR thing. And let me know if
Yeah.
I'm
No.
wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I don't mind being wrong.
No. I agree with that. I mean, I feel like you got to create a little buzz. And where do you start it at? You started at the combine.
Yeah.
I mean, Gillian and Ellie Choppa, guys that have played in the celebrity game before.
Mm-hmm.
The combine's tough, man. It's just like I mean, I was just talking to Isaiah Austin, so like spoiler alert for anybody who listens to the show, but he'll be on the next podcast. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, after you've competed in the combine before, or if you feel like you've built that status and credibility over your time in the league, like why would you go? You know, and so a lot of guys don't end up showing up, and what sucks is the politics come into play where guys who are have friends or they feel like they can build chemistry early on, like they just end up drafting those guys. Now,
Mm-hmm.
guys have come out of the combine and obviously succeeded. Nas being one of them last year. She showed what he can do. But yeah, the combine stuff, like you see experienced guys like Wesley Johnson was there. He didn't really necessarily need to be there, but I think overall with the combine, they're just trying to give people an opportunity to see guys maybe that you haven't seen before in the event that if you need to pick somebody up by week 3, which is like the start of when you can pick people up and drop whoever you have because your team's not doing well,
Mm-hmm.
then you at least know there's some guys out there. But it's just tough to give people an opportunity. Like if you think about Trilogy last year, they were 0-4 to start the year. I mean, they had 2 or 3 new guys in there, right? And like it's just simple things. Like they might forget that they can put the ball back up on an air ball, or if it doesn't hit rim. They might not realize there's a 14-second shot clock, and those possessions cost you. And so, like continuity and chemistry early on is like super important. Getting off to a 2-0 start or a 1-1 start is super important in an 8-week season. And yeah, I think that's just the reality of it sometimes.
Talk to me about since Kemba Walker most likely won't be available for the season, where who is on that roster, and also how do you think Nas will fit in?
Oh, I think Nas can be a great fit. So you have Jay Rich, you have Montrezl Harrell, and then the other 2 guys are Chris Allen and Amir Johnson.
Copy.
Uh, all guys that are experienced in the league, but Chris Allen, I would say that his first year was last year, so it'll be him and Nas as the guards. But I think Nas will be the lead guard. He'll be asked to take over probably a lot of the scoring. We'll probably see a lot of pick and roll, pick and pop situations with him and Trez. Jay Rich is kind of interesting because like Jay Rich has balled out in this league. I mean,
Yeah,
even as
Jay
soon as
Rich
last year he
tough.
dropped. Yeah, I mean he's still dunking at like 43, 44. He dropped 29 in the game last year as just like a purely just like a jump shooter. But it was just weird last year. He had like 3 or 4 games where he had like 0 points, and wasn't doing a lot. So I think Nas will be asked to do a lot. Him and Trez for sure.
So maybe this is a blessing in disguise if he is picked up. If you know what I'm saying, because Rio's still on
Yeah.
that 305 team, and
Mm-hmm.
he's still going predominantly the basketball in his hands to make decisions. So hey, it might be, you know what I'm saying, good for him. Let me ask you this question
I
though.
think it's.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think it's good for the league. Like one thing y'all said is like he doesn't come without storylines. Like there's plenty of it in there with him and Zay. I mean, now you think about the fact of like a revenge tour with him and the 305 team. I mean, there's plenty of buzz that a guy like Nas Core can create coming back into this league, being on a different team. So I think it's good for the league. I mean, obviously it's Kimball Walker. Like that would have been dope to have in this league for
Yeah, for
sure. But
sure.
like,
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, like from my own experience, any kind of collaborations I have with Nas on social media, I mean, he's got the squad behind him, and you bring in some of those headlines and stories in it, like it's going to be a fun season for sure.
Bro, him being the lead dog for that squad in terms of handling the basketball, and then you play Briscoe, bro, that game.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's matching up with Lance, if Lance is the lead guard,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you got 2 movies right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It could get. But
He's been going
go ahead.
crazy
Let me ask
since
you this.
he's been going.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just saying he's been going crazy ever since he found he wasn't in the league. I mean, I don't know if you probably most people saw he dropped 56 in that TBL game
Mm-hmm.
most recently. So
Yeah. Question: Are they? Hmm. So each team is based out of a city now,
hmm
right? So now you're going different cities each week in terms of like, okay, LA Ride, we're in LA this week. Miami 305, they get a home game this week. That's how they doing it now, or was it always like that?
so in the past there was no city affiliation, so it's just kind of like a tour.
Yeah.
Whereas like I think the idea, but the problem with that is like yeah, you might like a team here or there, but like you're essentially just having fans of the league. You don't really have fans of teams. And so I
Okay.
think that the idea with some of the city affiliations is now you can go to a hometown or a home city and kind of back a team that's affiliated with your city. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, LA will have a home team. I don't really know what the home court advantages are, other than the fact that you'll have your actual fans there of that team. And it won't just be like, oh, I like the big three. It's
Yeah.
like now I like the LA Riot or I like the DMV trilogy or whatever.
Hmm.
But we'll see how it plays out. I don't really know too much about that part.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. Since you've been covering the league since its inception, right?
Hmm.
So how do you think, just prediction, or how do you think having those city teams would do for the league in terms of
I
like
think it
fan
gives
support?
yeah, I think it just gives the league a lot of credibility for one. Like
Hmm.
I think I think over time, like that's what they've been trying to build through like the competitive nature, adding certain names into the league. And but now that you actually have city affiliations, you have owners that dictate, more of the decisions from a business perspective. And now you have fans that are backing teams. Like I really think that there's a lot you can do with that. I mean, even like, I mean, this is very small, but like even like the social media admins that we're seeing with Miami and LA. I mean, just on a different level than maybe if you just have somebody from the league who's helping out, or if you have like some of the NFT ownership things that they did in the past, just like someone from that group
Yeah.
trying to handle it, maybe not experienced. I mean, you're bringing in, I mean, this you're running this really like just like a very professional business at this point, because now there's an owner backing it tens of millions of dollars wanting to make the most of their investment, right? And so, I mean, there's a lot they can do from a home game perspective, from a ticket perspective. Obviously, it's not their stadiums or their domes or arenas or anything like that, but there's a little bit more you can probably add to it. So I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a fun experience. I think 4 games instead of 6 is going to be less daunting for people as well. So like now, if people buy a ticket, they don't feel like, oh, I bought this ticket for 6 games, I don't really want to watch it. Like they'll want to watch all 4 games.
Yeah. Who do you think? Obviously, Did the draft? Did the White Howard being on LA Riot affect? Do you think it affected the draft in terms of what guys were thinking based on him being in the league?
Yeah, I think a little bit. I will say that like every year that I cover the league, big men go pretty early on. Like big men are pretty coveted through the first round.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we saw some wings in there.
Hmm.
You saw Lance go #1 overall, but bigs are typically pretty coveted in this league because there hasn't been a lot of like just bigs in general always in the draft, or they're hard to come by that are really good. They can do it all. So in this draft, there was definitely a few that were in there. Like Chris Johnson's a really underrated big. So if people get the chance to see him, like I think he's one of the most underrated bigs in this league. Amir Johnson's been a champion. He's a little bit older, but I mean, you're adding Dwight Howard. Like it's gotta affect your opinion a little bit some way or another. Whether he's 39 or not. Like I mean,
He's still in
it's Dwight
shape though,
Howard.
bro. He still looks
Yeah.
like he's in tip top shape for a 39-year-old. Like whatever looks shape
Right.
LeBron James is in, that's what the White Howard looks like. You know what I'm saying? So do
Yeah.
you have them as the favorite to win it all right now, based on roster construction?
Man. It's a question I've been contemplating for a while. I mean, I have my top 4 in mind. They're definitely in that top 4. I just don't. It's just hard to say. I mean, I think sometimes in the past, like I look at the additions of like these prominent names on teams, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the favorite. And I've done that with enemies, who's now the LA Riot. Now I've done that with them time and time again. And maybe that's just me being naive, but they kind of failed me in the past, and so
Yeah.
I'm a little hesitant to say like, oh, because they added Dwight Howard, they're the favorites. They do have really good players on their team. I mean, like Jordan Crawford, Elijah Stewart. They won a Big Three championship not that long ago, so that's a good combo to have.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, I really like the Ball Hogs team. It's pretty good. I think they're just a big team. Their smallest guy is 6'6". They got a lot of scores, uh, and they have a defense to back it up. They also have Gary Payton coaching their team. I like the Trilogy team. I think they
Gary
have a lot
Payton's
of.
team won it all last year.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Gary Payton's team won it all last year, but Gary Payton is separated from the team he won it with. So, like, basically, the team he won it with is now the Houston Rig Hands, and Gary Payton went to Boston.
Copy.
So, Yeah. So that's why I really like that Ball Hogs team. Just because Gary's kind of heading it and the kind of the team they constructed. LA's got to be a favorite though. Let me put it that way. They're a top 14 for sure.
Bro, this is some great insight, dog. This is some really good insight, bro. I'm really glad that Nas is able to get an opportunity just based off what he did last year.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I didn't come across. I'm very passionate, bro. Like I love this shit. Hopefully I didn't come
Yeah.
across like I was bantering or bashing the league because I've watched the league. I've been to an event in LA last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted some context, man. That's really all I was looking for, brother. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah. I'm always happy to provide it. And man, I just think like the disappointing part is, with less teams, captains and coaches kind of with the way things go sometimes, like being a little less inclined to like take on new guys. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's the part that's a little disappointing because Cube's motto has always been it's not about your name, it's about your game. But I feel like at a state that they're at, growing, trying to build more credibility, it has been a little bit about the name, which is kind of disappointing. The other side is like people aren't willing to take a chance in drafts. The next Nas, the next body bag, the next Hezzy, the guys that, maybe were even like guys like Kevin Murphy. Like I know he's not like on the YouTube scene or anything, but Kevin Murphy played in the league. He's been playing overseas for a while and been known as a bucket. And I feel like just for even for him, this league has given him a lot of credibility. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the disappointing part. And I hope, the league goes back to 12 teams and ultimately goes to 16 or whatever else in the future.
I do think though, and from what I've been observing, less might be better. Just in terms of making every
Mm-hmm.
game mean a whole. I know the games meant a lot more last year, but these games are going to mean a lot. And sometimes just having
Yeah.
all of those star players, having less players, and having a lot more star players compacted into 8 teams, I I think it could be successful. I really think it is going to be successful based on what I'm hearing about each team and the background of each team. Because obviously, bro, I needed more education on that, and hearing that,
Mm-hmm.
I think, hey, especially with cities, with your fans
Yeah.
of that, like Beasley fans can come to the game that are in,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I think that's huge though, man. But do you have any last words for the people? Do you out because I'm definitely gonna plug your channel in the description. So is there any last words you
Yeah.
want to tell the people?
No. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm excited for the league this season too.
Yeah.
If you're interested in the big three, whether you're, if you're new to the league, feel free to tap in at the Fourth Man Pod, 4TH Man Pod
Mm-hmm.
on all social media platforms. And I'm always just trying to educate people as much as I can and provide as much insight as I can. As just someone who's been covering it for a long time. There's a good amount of episodes you can go back on and kind of see the evolution of not only the league, but me being just a little bit better interviewer and podcaster. We've had a
Yeah.
lot of guys on the show. Um, no, I appreciate you giving me the space and the opportunity to talk about it. I'm always happy to talk about it. And it's a league I know that has frustrated a lot of people in a bunch of different ways. But like I said, it's a startup. It's just going through some growing pains and
Oh,
hopefully they
trust
can
me,
work
I
through them
know.
no matter what.
We know about growing pains. Right where we at, right where we at doing what we doing. We know about growing pains for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, brother, we
Yeah. And just
appreciate.
shout out.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say shout out to you guys. I'm really in. Like I said, I'm a little bit newer to everything.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't catch on to the next chapter until here recently, and really started watching the games. But I mean, you guys are doing and creating some really cool shit, and so you guys are doing a good job as well in the commentary. So yeah,
Who
appreciate y'all.
did
Just
you watch the 3v3 today?
I was watching on your stream just now,
Did
so I kind of spoiled it a little bit for myself. But I was trying to see like I guess the context I'm getting, did Cam switch teams like middle of the game and
he
go over
tried to.
to Bees' team?
He
Okay, he
tried to.
tried to.
He tried to, and
Okay.
then Cam held him accountable. Say, where you going?
Yeah.
You got to check up with me if you do go over there. We ain't doing. Yeah, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
Yeah.
If you can, chat, give brother. What is your name? My apologies.
Oh, you're good. My name's Anthony.
Anthony, my bad, brother. Chat, give Anthony 5 one-on-one games for him to go watch. 5 of your favorite one-on-one games right now for him to go watch, and I'll relate it to him in the chat. And we'll do it like that.
Yeah, appreciate that.
I'll give you about 5. Number 1, Hoodie Kel versus Pat.
Okay.
Kel, just type in EL versus Pat. Day Day versus Eli Carter. Me versus Will. Type in B Ellis versus Will.
Okay.
Oh man, 2 more. Chat, help me out, please. Now y'all want to be scared. Damn, I need 2 more.
You said Pat versus who?
Pat,
you said Pat versus Kel.
Hoodie Kel.
And then Day Day versus
Day Day versus Eli Carter.
Okay. Cool.
Damn. B Ellis versus Will Tunin.
I'll tell you that Isotay Bino game was one for the ages.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing.
Okay.
Brother, you ain't seen nothing yet.
That's the game that really lost.
Caleb versus BJ. Sure. Caleb versus BJ. BJ.
Okay. I did just see Caleb on your stream just now. So, yeah. Yeah, give me one more because I work from home. This is what I do in the background.
I love you. You my mans. Nas versus Freaker.
Okay, I know how this one ends. But
all right, don't worry about this. All right, we'll get it done.
Okay.
Oh man, chat, come on, man, give me one real quick. Warzone 1-on-1 200 with Lat. So you're gonna type in. He gonna have red shoes.
Okay. With Lat. Okay, gotcha. Cool.
I'm telling you,
appreciate
right now,
it.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, it's worse than crack. You're gonna be addicted after this. It's worse than crack cocaine in the 80s, man. I'm telling you. But brother,
I got an addictive personality, so I need like an addiction that's not gonna hurt me too bad. So this is perfect.
Brother Anthony, we appreciate you pulling up, bro. We're gonna be tapped in a lot. I am gonna be tapped in with you and what you're doing on your podcast, and I will definitely plug in your podcast into the description when I post this video, brother.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir, buddy.
Yes, sir.
That is Anthony from the Big 4 Pod. 4th Man Pod. Giving us some insight on Nasir Corey and also the Big 3. I know y'all can't see me. But yeah, that's just Anthony, man. We have been talking about Scott. I'm gonna check it out, Scotty. I saw when you commented, Scotty. Obviously I was in a conversation. I couldn't say nothing. So yeah, y'all, man. Just wanted to give y'all some insight. We have been talked about coming on stream and chopping it up, man. Great guy, great insight, great education. I'm glad I could listen to that. And also I can, educate the rest of the YouTube community about this. And hopefully, Anthony could put up the stream. I could put up on his platform and we could just chop it up about things we're seeing on YouTube and the Big 3 as well. So it should be dope content. See you guys in the next video.